Hey, welcome to our channel, and in this video I am going to answer one of the most common questions that I get asked by patients. What causes tooth decay? Let's get right into it. So when we think of what causes cavities or tooth decay, many people think about sugar and that S, because eating excessive amounts of sugar is a major contributing factor. However, there are other factors that play a big role as well. And if any one of these factors are out of balance, it can lead to tooth decay. The main culprit in the formation of tooth decay is bacterial biofilm, more commonly known as plaque. Plaque is a structured community of bacteria that adheres to the teeth. It's a calcium igloo around the bacteria that they make to protect themselves. They kind of build this calcium igloo around themselves by collecting minerals from your saliva. That's how they construct this plaque. Now, plaque bacteria feed on dietary sugars and fermentable carbohydrates. So what are those? Well, fermentable carbs are carbs that can be broken down by bacteria. So simple sugars like glucose and fructose, they're easy food for bacteria to eat. Now, complex carbohydrates like starches, like the ones found in bread and cereal and milk and other things, those need to be broken down a little bit first by enzymes in your mouth before the bacteria can actually consume them. But once they are broken down, they become an energy source for the bacteria as well. Once the bacteria consumes these sugars and fermentable carbs, they produce acid. And this is where things start to go wrong. The acid produced by the bacteria attacks the tooth in a process called demineralization. It's basically a fancy scientific word for dissolving the minerals in your teeth. When this happens, the tooth loses its protective outer layer called the enamel, and then it becomes susceptible to decay. Now, saliva is the body's way of protecting the teeth from this type of decay. That's because saliva has minerals and a pH that neutralize acids and remineralize the teeth. If you have healthy saliva, that's going to protect your teeth from decay. So why would anybody ever get cavities if saliva is supposed to protect their teeth? Well, it does, but only if you're giving your saliva a chance to do its job. Think of it like you have a bodyguard with you all the time, but only if you let him do his job. He can't fight the bad guys if he's not there, or if you send him away. Same thing with your saliva. You have to keep your bodyguard close by so that he can protect you. Time is also a critical factor when it comes to tooth decay. This is often referred to as the circle of decay. Bacteria, plaque, acids, they're always attacking your teeth. So when you're eating, you should give your saliva a break to do its job. So instead of snacking throughout the day, eat your meals mindfully. Take your time, chew your food thoroughly, and swallow it. Give your saliva a chance to do its job and protect your teeth. Once you swallow, your saliva will carry the food particles down into your stomach where they won't bother you anymore. And then, after you swallow, wait about 30 minutes before you snack again. This gives your saliva a chance to remineralize your teeth before you start feeding the bacteria again. Anatomy matters when it comes to tooth decay as well. The inside surfaces of the teeth, like the grooves in your molars, they're very susceptible to decay. Why? Because those areas are hard to clean with a toothbrush and floss. And even if you do clean them really well, it's hard to keep them completely free of bacteria, so those bacteria can grow pretty easily in those areas. And because those areas are hard to clean, the plaque and the acid can stick around longer than it would in other areas of the mouth, like on the biting surfaces of your teeth or the smooth surfaces of your teeth. Those are much easier to keep clean, and that's why it's a lot less common for decay to occur on the smooth surfaces of the teeth compared to the inside surfaces. When it comes to tooth decay, the inside surfaces of the teeth are just a lot more susceptible to decay. You see, teeth have pits and fissures, and those can trap food particles. And if food particles remain trapped in those pits and fissures, bacteria can grow on those food particles, and that's how they form plaque, and that's how they cause decay. And those inside surfaces, those pits and fissures, are a lot deeper, so it takes longer for the saliva to reach those areas. So, because saliva is your tooth's natural defender against decay, it's harder for saliva to get to those areas to help defend your teeth. Now, to summarize all of this, we made a little cheat sheet for you guys. I've got it right here. Okay, so the first thing is the main culprit in the formation of tooth decay is bacterial biofilm, or plaque. This stuff adheres to the teeth and feeds on dietary sugars and fermentable carbs. A couple examples of fermentable carbs are glucose, fructose, sucrose, starch, and the starches you find in breads and cereal, milk, etc. The next thing is once the plaque bacteria consume these sugars, they produce acid. This acid attacks the tooth in a process called demineralization, which basically means dissolving the minerals in your teeth. Now, the good news is saliva is your body's way of protecting the teeth from this type of decay. That's because saliva contains minerals and APH that neutralize acids and remineralize the teeth. But if you're constantly snacking or sipping on sugary drinks or refined carbs, then you're constantly feeding the bacteria, so they're producing acid at a high rate. And when that happens, there isn't enough time for your saliva to neutralize the acids and remineralize the teeth. So over time, if you're constantly feeding the bacteria without giving your saliva a break, that can lead to tooth decay. It's time. You have to allow your saliva a chance to remineralize your teeth between snacks. So time is a critical factor in whether or not you will get tooth decay. Again, you have to give your saliva a chance to work. It's anatomy. The inside surfaces of the teeth are more susceptible to decay because those areas are harder to clean. They're harder to clean with a toothbrush and floss. They tend to trap more food particles, making it easier for bacteria to grow. And lastly, it takes longer for saliva to reach those areas to help defend your teeth. So I hope this video answered the question, what causes cavities or tooth decay? So if you enjoyed this video, please share this video with somebody who may need it. Until next time, everyone.